Ball will be back with the starting lineups and the kickoff of this game as Princeton visits Bluefield in a moment on the TV6 Game of the Week. School Stadium, I'm Ralph Oakley along with Mike Fuller. The coin flip has been had. Bluefield will be receiving, and they'll be receiving the ball down to the right. Mike, why don't you check the Bluefield offense for us?
Backfield for Bluefield, as best as you'll find anywhere in high school, as we said earlier. Quarterback Keith Rubel, of course, will have three super ones behind him. Number 15, Hugh Small, a 5'3" senior, 135 pounds. Cortez Martin, wearing number 35, a 6-foot junior, 200 pounds. And, of course, the fullback, Teddy Coppola, a 5'11", 187-pound senior. And we'll have the offensive line in just one moment.
Getting set to kick off is Joe Sabo, number 72, for the Princeton Tigers. We had a chance to see him warming up earlier. He's got a good leg, so expect to see this kick go deep. Going back deep, we'll have Brian DeNudlo, the deep man, for the Beavers. All set to go, John Schmar, the head coach of Bluefield, Joe Tribuca, the head coach of Princeton. This is our second ball game in the Game of the Week series. Hope you enjoy it. We're all set to go. Sabo to kick off. Here's the kick. It is a good one right down the middle of the field, taken by DeNudlo at the 10. He comes up the left side, across the 20. He's got an alley back to the middle. False fumble, loose on the field, and it looks like Princeton has it at the 40-yard line. So a strange turn of events there. We'll see who got that football. I think on that will credit number 22, Jim Bogus, with the recovery. That's quite a way to start, Mike.
Certainly did not take much time for the first break of this one, so we can scratch the Bluefield offensive line for a minute. And I can tell you that the Princeton starting offensive backfield will be set out by number 9, 180-pound senior quarterback Jeff Sizemore, number 35, Robbie Martin at one running back, number 42, Sean Thompson, the other.
Up over center comes Sizemore, first and 10 at the 41. Hand off to Thomason, left side. He gets across the 40 and down to the 38-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Thomason will be running behind an offensive line of left tackle number 65, Gene Lockhart, 225-pound senior. Number 55 at left guard is Troy Taylor, a 230-pound senior. Number 75 at center, Jack Scooter Smith, 185-pound senior. Chris Hardy, 52. Eric Bowling, 70. Guard tackle on the right side.
Second down, we'll call it 7. Senior quarterback Jeff Sizemore. Handoff. Once again, it's Thomason, and he's gotten down to the 30-yard line. We'll call that a first down. So Princeton moving quickly after the turnover. First down and 10. Ball at the 30-yard line for the Tigers. Again, it's Thomason up the middle, and he bangs ahead for 5 down to the 25-yard line.
Defensively for Bluefield in a 4, Tommy Bailey at one end, 84. 61 is Steve Banco, 54. Chris Wallace. He'll alternate a lot with number 79, John Schmara, and Jimmy Blucher, 6 foot, 166-pound senior, wears number 50. And the offensive line of Princeton is getting the better of those front 4 as of right now.
Just 10:29 to go in the first quarter. We've only played a minute and a half. Princeton on the turnover, moving the ball downfield. Second down and 5 at the 25. Here's the pitch to Bowling. Bowling's got the room on the left side, and he'll be brought down at the 20-yard line. In on the tackle, Steve Banco, to be very close to a first down.
4 behind and down 4. Tim Barnes, wearing number 30, 6'2", 170-pound senior. Teddy Coppola, Cortez Martin will hold down the inside linebacker position. And Paul Thompson, wearing number 18, a 5'10", 161-pound senior. 3 secondary men when we get a chance.
We'll call it third down and just under a yard to go for the Tigers. Sizemore looks to pass, throws the ball left side. It is tipped away, but I believe we see a flag there. The ball was knocked away by Brian DeNudlo, but I believe he's going to be called for pass interference, Mike.
Certainly looks that way from here. I'll tell you, DeNudlo, super special team player, recovered a onside kick in that Pulaski game to set up the winning touchdown. DeNudlo, of course, again wearing number 11. He's a 5'11", 150-pound senior. He's at the safety. Steve Brown back there as well, wearing number 43, a 5'9", 166-pound junior. And Jay Lynch wearing number 23. Lynch, a senior, goes 5'8", 143 pounds. That's the Beaver defense starting out this ball game.
And you'll see the walk-off coming up. We want to mention Princeton's 2-1 this season. They lost to Pulaski 26-10, beat Oak Hill 10-3, and beat Hinton 14-0. Bluefield 3-0 on the season. They had a 1-point win, 21-20 over Graham. Beat Greenbrier East 40-20, and beat Pulaski 9-6. So you see that comparison, 9-6. A win for Bluefield, a loss on the Princeton side. But right now, it's safe to say that Princeton has the upper hand as they have first and 10. It looks like they could still get a first down without going into the end zone. The ball just outside the 10-yard line. Splitting out wide to the right now comes David Street along with Richard Cox. Here's a handoff. Thomason up the middle. He'll be knocked down at the 10-yard line by the whole front wall of the Bluefield defense.
Bluefield defense came to the rescue that time. I believe that's the first time. Princeton didn't fare too well on first down. They've had some good hunks of yardage so far on first down. As we said so many times, that's the big play because that sets up third down. First down is the most important down in any drive.
Second down. Parker Hall out wide with Street on the left side. Handoff up the middle, out of room, across the 5 go the Tigers. We have a timeout on the field with 8:58 to go. In the first quarter, our score is 0-0. We'll take a timeout on the TV6 game of the week. Back to action. Third down and about 3. Princeton could get a first down just outside the goal line. And they're lining it up tight. Sizemore hands it off. Thomason bowls ahead, close to the goal line. No indication from the official, and he's short of the goal line, and it appears he's short of the first down as well. Fourth and about a half yard to go for first down. Mike, what do you think they'll do?
They certainly won't kick, that's for sure, Ralph. This early in the ball game, you better believe Joe Trabuco's going to try and bang this one in. He probably figures it's early. If we don't get in, what the heck? Look how far back Bluefield will be pinned.
This could be a big motivational swing for either team. Fourth down, and about a foot to go, and it's touchdown for Princeton. In with that, I believe, was Rodney Martin.
Princeton draws first blood. Let's watch it again. Nothing fancy. Just a simple little dive handoff. My line against yours. We'll see who wants it more. Give the edge to Princeton, and they take the lead.
In for the extra point attempt, Joe Sabo. He's a straight-ahead kicker. Snaps a little low. They get it down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Princeton takes advantage of the turnover off the kickoff. Princeton takes a 7-0 lead. We'll take a timeout on the TV6 game of the week. And welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. I'm Ralph Oakley with Mike Fuller. Lightning strikes early for Princeton as they score, and you can hear their fans going wild on the other side. Sabo ready to kick off once again. Back deep for Bluefield is Janudalo. Sabo hits the kick. Another good kick coming down the middle. It'll be Janudalo at the 10 once again. He'll try the right side. Up to the 20, the 25. Across the 30 to the 36-yard line. In on the tackle for Princeton was Tim Bogus. And Bogus was the guy you might recall recovered that fumble on the other kickoff. He's in there every time.
Bogus has given Princeton that big edge with that early fumble recovery. This is a big early key drive for Bluefield.
The quarterback, Keith Rubel, 5'11", 177 in the senior. He's got a backfield, a quick one. A couple of Smalls and Martin. And very quickly they go left side with some room. With that ball is Cortez Martin. And he gets up across the 45 for a pickup of 4. Second down and 6 for Bluefield. That last run was Hugh Smalls, rather. At quarterback, Rubel. He's back to pass. Ezra Bretcher's going to throw it deep. The pass is tipped and almost caught. Intended there for Steve Brown. He just couldn't hold on to it. Mike, that was good defensive pressure, but Brown almost had a great catch.
Almost a great catch. The pressure on the rush and the pressure in the secondary provided by Tim Bogus, number 22. David Street, number 5. Making things pretty difficult back there for the Bluefield receiver.
A 15-yard walk-off against Bluefield will make it about 2nd and 21. So that's the second penalty so far against Bluefield. And we've only played about 4.5 minutes in this ball game. Second down and 21. Rubel at quarterback. See if they put it up in the air this time. Looks like he's going to now face it. Comes with the draw. It's Hugh Smalls, and he has nowhere to go. As he's knocked down at the 25-yard line for essentially no gain. Good draw play it looked like, but Princeton was not fooled. Still third down and 21. Wide to the left from Coppola and Martin. They're going to throw it out here. Ball goes to Martin. He has not much blocking over there, and he's knocked out of bounds. Way short of the first down.
Princeton looking pretty good right now. That Pulaski County game, first of the year, might have helped them out a lot and gotten them ready.
Janudalo on the punt. Ball comes down to a fair catch at the 38-yard line. Fair catch made by number 22, Tim Bogus. 6:34 now to go in the first quarter play. Princeton has the ball in a 7-0 lead. At quarterback Sizemore. Handoff left side to Sean Thomason. Thomason with a pickup of 2. Second down and 8 now for the Princeton Tigers. They got them all in the backfield. Bluefield behind Sizemore. Hand off, last man through, Joe Bowling. Bowling fights ahead near the 45-yard line, and he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down.
Bowling got a lot of that on his own as he dragged a couple of tacklers, including Tommy Bailey, on that play. So Bowling looking as hungry as any Tiger out there right now. John Schmara checks into the Bluefield lineup. Schmara not wearing 74 as usual. Schmara wearing 79 tonight.
Here's the 3rd and 2 handoff, and we've got a first down. With that run, Sean Thomason's been the workhorse, gets it up to midfield, first down for the Tigers. And Mike, they're having good success running this evening.
Having super success running, and if Joe Trabuco can do that, he won't even attempt to pass. As nice a target as Pennington is out there, he can just grind it up and keep that clock going. Trabuco knows that the more he holds the ball, the less Bluefield's backs get it, so that's still his best weapon.
1st and 10 at midfield for the Tigers, 5:15 and counting down in the first quarter. Here's a big handoff. Sizemore will take it around the right end for a pickup of 3 yards. In on the tackle for Bluefield was Thomas Bailey. Split out wide to the right of Street. Here's the handoff, or the fake rather. Sizemore goes left side, but there's nowhere to go. And he'll be dropped for a yard loss, and that was Thomas Bailey again. He read that one out well.
Certainly did. Cortez Martin also went on that. Martin, of course, a one-man wrecking crew against Greenbrier East, the second game of the season.
Out wide to the right is David Street. Richard Cox in the slot. Here's the pitch back at Bowling. He's got some room. Down to the 30. He'll be knocked down, but a good pitch and run. Bowling gets the first down for the Tigers.
Didn't work the other way. Come back with it to the right side. More success there. Good seal blocks on the inside. Opened it up for Bowling to cut it up on the right to pick up the big first down. Princeton controlling the football, and I think a lot of the people on the Bluefield side of the stadium here a bit shocked at this point. That's what Bluefield's supposed to do to all their opponents.
First down and 10, out wide to the right again, or to the left rather, this time is Street and Parker Hall in the slot. Hall and Cox bring in the plays for Coach Joe Trabuca. Handoff up the middle, Thomason breaks free to the 25, across the 20 for another first down. A pickup of 11 for Thomason, and he's already run that ball 6 or 7 times tonight.
Thomason getting super help. Center Jack Smith, 185-pound senior, wearing 75. Chris Hardy's the right guard alongside of him. Eric Bowling, 70. Pennington, the tight end. Those guys just opening up holes that anyone could run through.
So, 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Sizemore's quarterback. Princeton in the white. Here's the quarterback sneak. Lots of room. Sizemore down to about the 10-yard line. He saw the hole there and just took it right up the middle. They've been able to work the ball in the middle with no problem. Sizemore, that quarterback, he'll do it again, and he's got the first down to the 7-yard line. So, he's going to try to stick with that play until Bluefield will prove that they can stop it.
That time over Jack Smith and Troy Taylor, the left guard. 230-pound senior. Taylor takes up a lot of space in there. That time he opened up a lot of space. Coach Joe Trabuco from the Glenn Carlock School of Coaching, I believe, thus far. Something works. He's just going to keep doing it until you stop it.
Princeton, as we mentioned in the white. Here's a handoff, Thomason, but he's not going to go anywhere this time. Good defense by the Beavers. And that'll come down for a yard loss. 2nd down, goal to go at about the 9-yard line. Sizemore looking to pass. His pass is knocked down and incomplete. Didn't really have a man open. That was intended for Pennington down low. Broken up by, I believe, Paul Thompson.
Ryan Janudolo also went on that play, and you're right, really no one opened that time, but Pennington's such a force out there on the Tiger offense that they tried to force the ball to him. No luck that time. Bring it up, of course, 3rd down.
You would think maybe with Pennington's size, you'd see maybe an alley-oop type of pass. He's about 6'1", 6'2". 3rd down and goal from the 9-yard line. Both teams now have used one timeout. Princeton just called one.
Nice to see. As we always say, there's 3 timeouts per half, and not too often clubs will utilize those timeouts in the first half, but since you can't carry them over, most of the time they go to waste. Maybe not tonight. Too much riding on this game. Got 3. Both have used 1.
Princeton breaking the huddle. David Street, 165 senior, breaks out wide to the left. Sizemore in the backfield has Thomason, Martin, and Joe Bowling. Sizemore fakes it, looks down the middle, pass is caught near the goal line. Quick pass, I believe that was the Pennington touchdown. Pennington over the middle on the quick hitter, and that makes it 13-0. kick by Sabo is up and good. So with 2:10 now to go in the first quarter, somewhat surprising, at least to these Bluefield fans, Princeton has taken a 14-0 lead. We'll take a timeout and be back in a moment on the TV6 Game of the Week.
Stadium, a stunned crowd on both sides of the field, I think. Favored Bluefield trailing now. The underdog Princeton Tigers 14-0. Ralph Oakley, you call that touchdown a quick hitter. That's exactly what it was. Pennington faked a little block, got lost in there, and caught the touch. Princeton looking sharp.
Sabo to kick off again. Third kickoff of the night, all in the first quarter, a little shorter this time. Down to the 12-yard line. Back with it is Janudalo, and he comes up across the 30, knocked down at the 34-yard line. In on the tackle, number 32, Mike Lambert.
Bluefield, a much different team than Princeton, of course, and Bluefield has a much better chance of coming back than Princeton does, I believe. The Beavers have those super running backs. They can strike anytime, any place, anywhere on the field, whereas Princeton kind of has to grind it out. So if there's something good for the Bluefield fans to look at, they know they can come back. This ball game's still 0-0 as far as both coaches are concerned.
First down and 10, ball marked at the 34-yard line. At quarterback, Keith Rubel. Rubel fakes it. Now here's a reverse to the right side. Smalls has a blocker out there. Tries to cut to the outside. Still Lewis. Up across midfield. Down to the 49-yard line. Good running by Hugh Smalls.
A lot of individuals running by Hugh Smalls. As we watch it, nothing one way, nothing again. Go a little bit wider. Princeton had their shots, but little arm tackles don't work against Hugh Smalls. Little juke bug action around the right side. Picks up the big first down.
He made a nice play on that deceptive reverse. Here's Smalls again. He's got room left side down across the 45 to the 40 fumble, and it's going to belong to Princeton. Smalls lost that ball into his head. The recovery made by number 67, Bert Charles.
Just a shame Hugh Smalls caught that one up. Made a super move, lined up that time as the tailback in the I formation, a la Marcus Anderson and others, and he looked like a small version of Marcus Allen as he picked his own little hole, came up the left side, picked up a lot of yardage, but unfortunately for Bluefield, coughed it up.
1:35 and counting down in the first quarter. Princeton is taking advantage of the turnovers. That's the second one for Bluefield. The Tigers will put it down first and 10 in their own 42-yard line. Handoff is Martin across the 45 up to the 47-yard line. And a flag thrown after the play.
Little late hit, I believe, on the Bluefield Beaver defense. Bluefield Beaver defense, 8 starters returning from a year ago. Coach Schmara concerned about one thing, depth. He felt his club has to stay healthy coming into this season because of the lack of key reserves. But I'll tell you, with those frontline guys out there, they're having their hands full against Princeton.
That was a 15-yard walk-off personal foul against Bluefield. 45 yards penalized in this first quarter. First and 10 on the Bluefield 39 for the Tigers. Handoff up the middle. With it goes, I believe, Thomason, and he'll go ahead for about 3 yards down to the 35-yard line.
Thomason ran for over 100 yards in that 10-3 win over Oak Hill. Good, steady ball player. Showed a nice sign on that one for the coaching staff of Princeton. Ran through there with both arms, blocked around the football. So maybe the Bluefield fumbleitis has concerned Princeton a little bit. They do not want to give up the ball.
Second down and 7. Ball sitting just at about the 35-yard line. At the controls, Jeff Sizemore. Cross left guard they go for a pickup of about 2. They'll be short, and third down coming up.
Try it again. Super tackle in on that play was Cortez Martin, number 35, a junior. The guy's a horse. Does it all, everything, both offense and defense. What a super game he had in that Greenbrier East. Bluefield, of course, 3-0. That 1-point win over Graham. The 3-point win over Pulaski County. The Greenbrier East was a 40-20, but it was tied at 20 in the fourth until Cortez Martin took over.
5 seconds to go in the first quarter. They may or may not get this play off. They're going to. And we have a whistle and a flag. Quick movement on the line, and this one we'll have to wait and see. It could go against Princeton. And it appears we'll check it. Looks like it is going to go against Princeton. Illegal procedure called against the Princeton Tigers, and it was at the end of the quarter, so they'll have the 5-yard walk-off, then they'll switch sides, and we'll take a timeout as well. At the end of the first quarter, our score, Princeton 14, Bluefield 0. Welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. Second quarter action starting. It was a 5-yard illegal procedure walk-off against Princeton. That ended the quarter, so they moved it back 5 yards. Princeton going the other direction. It'll be third and about 10 from from the 39-yard line.
14-0, Bluefield in a tough situation. They are favored. They probably have more talent than Princeton. The Princeton off to the quick lead. They're playing over their heads. They are sky high. If they score again, Bluefield could really have some problems.
Here's a handoff right side. Lots of running room for the Princeton Tigers. That was Ralph Kinzer. And Kinzer picks up about 8 yards short of the first down.
And if we can run that back, that's a classic trap play as left guard number 55, Troy Taylor, pulled and caught the blitzing Cortez Martin. Martin, 35, was dumped, opened up the passageway for the running back. Good play. That's called a trap block.
Fourth down, 4 yards to go. After a Princeton timeout, Joe Tribuca has decided to go for it. Let's see what happens. David Street out wide to the left. Back is Robbie Martin, along with Thomason. Sizemore hands it off up the middle. Thomason nowhere to go, and Bluefield will take over on down. Good defense by the Beavers there, Mike Fuller.
Super defense, great penetration, led by Steve Banco, number 61. Princeton feeling a little bit overconfident now, I think, going for that play and getting hammered, running into a maroon and gold wall out there. Banco, the big man, Banco led the play, 61.
So that may fire up Beaver just a bit. 11:31 to go. In the first half, Princeton leads at 14-0. The Beavers check the huddle, come out of the huddle. At quarterback, still Keith Rubel. What time of possession in the first quarter? They hardly had the ball. In up the middle. Coppola with a lot of room. Gets away from one man. Down to the 30, to the 20. Down to the 10 where he'll be pulled down by number 47, Gary Mills.
Getting through at the center. Steve Banco, the right guard. Kevin Mitchell, John Schmar, the two tackles on the right side of the unbalanced line. Blowing it apart for Teddy Coppola to race on his own down close to the 10-yard line.
First down and 10 at the 12-yard line. And you can hear these Bluefield fans below us now getting excited. That looks like an audible being called by Keith Rubel. Rubel hands it off, left side. Martin, and he's down for the touchdown. Cortez Martin. Use the left side to score, and Bluefield is back in the football game.
Off the right side for Coppola, off the weaker left side with less people for Martin. Martin smelled pager at that time. Nothing apparently was going to stop him, and as we said, Bluefield can score any time from any place. It took them just 2 plays to go about 60 yards.
Let's see, they're going to go for 2, it looks like. They're going to go for 2. You wouldn't be surprised to see a passing cut. 4 men out. Here's the pass, and it is incomplete. In very quickly for Princeton was number 66, David Rash. He broke it up, so that'll end the play with their score, 14-6, Princeton lead. Kickoff hit the short kick down on the right side. Princeton will bring it up. Down to the 20, we have a fumble. Picked up by Bluefield. Number 18 picks up their football, Paul Thompson. He won't be able to run it, but it won't be Bluefield's football at the 23-yard line. Apparently, they have called that back, and you can see the official talking to Coach John Schmar, and Coach Schmar does not appear to like it at all, but they've called it back. We'll have to check at halftime and see what the ruling was, but they're going to make them kick it again, Mike, and I don't understand that.
From this angle, Ralph, it appeared to be a fumble, and it appeared to be Bluefield football, but a little bit of mass confusion. John Schmar certainly doesn't understand it. Coach Schmar, you could probably fry an egg on the back of his neck right now for good reason. He thought he had the football down in Princeton territory.
So, kicking off will be Tony Wallace. We've got 10:47 to go, second quarter, 14-6, and that may fire Bluefield up. We'll have to see. Here's a kick by Wallace. He has a good one this time. It'll go over the head, comes down to the 6-yard line. Picked up by Ralph Kinzer, and he'll be nailed at the 12, and there's a fumble, but the ball is called down. The ball is called down. Princeton will keep it at the 17-yard line. Be first and 10 there for the Princeton Tigers. They've got a deep hole to climb out of here. Sizemore quarterback. Handoff up the middle, and Thomason maybe gets a yard. Sizemore up the middle, and loss is going to be incurred by the Tigers. Trying to check that Bluefield man that came through, but he puts it up in the air. I kind of doubt it. But I'm wrong. Sizemore down the middle. Pass is caught. Completed for the first down. Up across the 22-yard line. And catching that ball, no surprise, Carl Pennington. For Princeton, they headed first and 10, call for offside to move it back 5, but they got that first down, a big play on that. Sizemore at the control. Handoff, Thomason's got some room, comes up across the 20, and back to about the 22 where it'll be second and 10. 8:13 now to go. Handoff left side, and not much room there for the Tigers as they advance the ball up to the 25-yard line. That was Thomason once again on the carry. Out wide to the left is Richard Cox. Here's Sizemore looking to throw. Down the middle, pass is tipped, and intercepted by Bluefield. It's Thompson. Thompson down the left side. Gets it inside the 40 to the 28-yard line, and Pennington couldn't hold on to it. Thompson was Johnny on the spot. First and 10 now for Bluefield at the Princeton 27-yard line. At quarterback is Rubel. They try to pull out on the right side. It's Hugh Smalls. Smalls is running here across the 20 down to the 19-yard line. And we have a flag, and it appears it'll be against Princeton. 10-yard walk-off for personal foul. That brings the ball down to the 10-yard line. First and 10 for Bluefield. Here's a handoff. Left side goes Cortez Martin. Martin gets down to about the 9-yard line and is going to be knocked down there. The first down was right at about the 10, but it is second and goal. Rubel looks, fakes the pitch. Down the side, ball goes up the middle again for no gain. Out wide to the right, Cortez Martin. He goes in motion back toward the line. Here's the pitch. We have a flag in the backfield. Smalls gets free. He's going to score. But we'll have to see what that flag is. Good run by Smalls. Touchdown's indicated, but we'll have to see what that flag is. That motion penalty brings the ball back 5 yards. It'll be third and goal at the 14-yard line. So Hugh Smalls' touchdown negated, and they'll have to try it one more time as Martin will split wide to the left this time. Rubel, let's see if he puts this one up in the air. Looks like he fakes the handoff, throws right side, has the screen set up, down to the 5-yard line, down toward the corner of the end zone, touchdown! Ball got reception with Steve Brown with a nifty bit of running as they put up the end screen. Brown is in for the touchdown. They're going for two. It's Rubel. Comes left, pitches the ball back. Smalls gets away from one man, and he'll shoot him in the corner of the end zone. A pitch at the very last minute by Rubel to Smalls. They get in, and that makes our score Princeton 14 and Bluefield 14. We'll take a timeout with 5:20 to go in the second quarter on the TV6 Game of the Week. Hopefully with Mike Fuller, 14-14 our score now. And here's the boot by Wallace. Goes back down the end zone. It'll be a touchback cut out on the 20. Here's a handoff in the backfield. Nowhere to go there for Robbie Martin. We'll give him a pickup of 1. Sizemore takes the handoff. He'll try to run the right side. Gets a couple of yards and tripped up at the 23-yard line. Clock counting down in this first half. 4:07 now to go. Sizemore back to pass. Looking down the middle. He's going to throw it deep. It is just out of the range of David Street. Street had a step, but the throw just a little bit out of his reach. Fourth down, and Princeton will now have to punt. Here's Pennington. Hits a good spiraling kick. Back to take it is Janudalo. He comes around the right side across the 50 to 45 and down to the 43-yard line. Tribute up there is Joe Bowling, and 3:52 left for the Beavers to try to mount one more drive. First down, 10 at the 43-yard line of Princeton. Here's a handoff up the middle and nowhere to go, I believe. That was Smalls, and he was met right at the line of scrimmage by number 52, Chris Hardy, 213-pound senior. Rubel at quarterback. In motion comes Smalls. They fake the handoff. Rubel back to pass, looking deep. Has a man. It's Brown. It's caught and dropped. Brown was open and couldn't hold on to it at the 3-yard line. A good throw by Rubel, but an opportunity loss for Beaver there. Third down and 10 now. Clock stop with 2:51 to go. In motion again, Hugh Smalls. Fakes the handoff. Back in the pocket. Rubel has time. Look. Throws the ball on the right side. Complete to Smalls. And they're going to call it incomplete as he stepped out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Very close. The official was right on it, and he called it out of bounds. Janudalo will boot the ball. Hits it end over end. Ball hits down at the 15, rolls into the end zone barely. It'll be a touchback and brought out to the 20. First down and 10 now at the 20-yard line for the Princeton Tigers. They've got 2:37 to go and 80 yards of real estate to cover. Here's Sizemore. It looks like a busted play or broken play there. Well, I think he wanted to hand off to Thomason and just gets the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Princeton's got one timeout left. Bluefield's got two. Sizemore over center. Hands off up the middle, and again, no place to go. Because that Beaver line is really stiffened in the second quarter of play.
Bluefield defensive front beginning to take charge. They're about to get the ball back again for their offense. Princeton in a tough situation. About 3rd and 10.
Make that third down. Coming up for Princeton. Bluefield calling a timeout, so they've got one left. See if they can hold him here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bluefield call a timeout after this. 1:50 now to go. It's Sizemore trying to run the ball. Moves ahead, but he'll be short on the first down. Pulled down at the 27-yard line. And apparently a fumble, and Bluefield has come up with it. I don't know exactly who to credit. I think maybe Thomas Bailey. I didn't see the fumble, but it was called a fumble, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Bluefield. On the turnover, 1st and 10, 23-yard line of Princeton. Bluefield has the ball, clock counting down, 1:37 to go. Here's a handoff up the middle. And it's getting loose and going in for the touchdown. It's Teddy Coppola. Coppola looked like he was stopped. He got loose and went in for the touchdown. With 1:30 remaining, Mike, it looked like he was stopped.
Looks like he was stopped. Coach Joe Tribuco, of course, cannot believe that one. Coppola's forward progress was shut down. Princeton seemed to give up. All of a sudden he bounces out. He's in there. Touchdown.
Now Bluefield line up for the extra point. This time they're going to kick it. It'll be senior Todd Baker. Soccer-style kicker. Snap put down by Janudlo. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Then Bluefield gets on the board, making the score 21-14, 1:30 to go in the second quarter. Wallace puts his foot into it, hits a low, hard kick. It'll be taken by Thomason. And he'll be knocked out the 25-yard line. Check there. That's Richie Wolf on the return. Knocked down at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 25. Clock running. 1:10 now to go in the first half. Looks like they want to throw. Sizemore pass is almost intercepted. Falling just at the feet of Janudlo. But Bluefield was almost in a situation where they were going to get a turnover there. Both teams have given the ball up twice so far tonight. They'll have man coverage with Brown out there. Here's the handoff right side. Joe Bowling's got some room. Up across the 30 to the 34 for a pickup of 8. Clock now under 1 minute, 54 seconds to go in the first half of action. It looks now like maybe Princeton might just run out the clock. 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. Clock down now to 30 seconds remain in the second quarter. Princeton scored their 14 points in the first quarter. Bluefield 21 in the second quarter. Here's a handoff. Left side with the football. Robbie Martin. He'll be pulled down at the 37. He'll get a first down. 1st and 10. 22 seconds to go. Second quarter. Sizemore's going to put it up in the air. Looks down the middle. Pass is caught by Pennington. Good catch. Ball was a little bit behind him. He went down to the ground and caught it just across midfield. Just one more play, probably. Sizemore looking back. He'll throw the ball deep, and it's going to be intercepted by Bluefield. And Janudlo loses the ball on a fumble. Now coming down the right side, left side rather, we have a flag down as he fumbled. The ball was picked up by Gene Lockhart, and he's pulled down, but we do have a penalty. Back to throw. Sizemore comes up the left. He's going to run the football now. Down to the 20, and he'll be knocked down at the 15-yard line. And that should end the first half of play. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment on the TV6 Game of the Week. Princeton Stadium, I'm Ralph Oakley along with Mike Fuller. Our score, Bluefield leading Princeton 21-14. Second half, Princeton will be receiving the kickoff. And for the play-by-play, here's Mike Fuller.
Thank you, Ralph Oakley. Couldn't ask for much more. Super night weather-wise, excited crowd, super ball game going on right now. Princeton to receive the ball first here in the second half. Tony Wallace steps up and bangs it end over end to about the 10-yard line. Tigers across the 30, up towards the 40 and out over, or at least close to the 40-yard line. That ball returned by number 12 of the Princeton Tigers. That's Richie Wolf. So super return by Wolf, and the Tigers will start out in nice field position. First and 10, Princeton. Jeff Sizemore, the senior quarterback wearing number 9, leads them out. Turns one way and gives back to Thomason, who's hit immediately, bounces off, bounces a little bit forward, pickup of maybe 1. So it'll be about a 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at their own 40.
This could be a very important series for the Tigers. They were just out of the ball game in the second quarter, and Bluefield was out of it in the first quarter. Princeton needs to get that momentum back. We'll see what Joe Tribuca had planned at halftime, but it wouldn't hurt them, even if they don't score here, to get a couple of first downs and get the momentum going.
Momentum and get the confidence. As Sizemore calls out the signals, 2 running backs behind him, turns and gives it to the first man through, who goes nowhere. That looks like Thomason again. He was ripped pretty hard by Banco and Wallace and Bailey in the center of the Bluefield line. Princeton faced with not the most pleasant of situations. 3rd and long now as Sizemore brings them out once again. It's an I formation this time. He drops back, set, zips it to Pennington across the middle, and Carl Pennington, number 88, has it. He's down in the Bluefield territory to about the 44-yard line. Super play. Sizemore to Pennington.
Mike, when you look back at that, you can see why all the coaches are talking to Pennington. Down the middle, guys all around him, kept his concentration on a little bit of a low ball, grabbed it for the first down. Very nice catch.
Big pickup, confidence-wise, if nothing else for the Tigers. 1st and 10. Thomason up the middle, lots of room, and he might be close and may have another first down. Clock moving. 10:05, 4, 10:03 to play. 3rd quarter. Sizemore. Thomason again. Tries the left side, not much room. Bring up a 2nd and long. Hope you're enjoying this one. This is our 2nd Channel 6 high school football game of the week.
I want to mention, Mike, we have 4 more games tentatively scheduled on the next 4 Saturdays. Next Saturday at 2 o'clock, we play in Bluefield at Richlands. The following Saturday, October 6th, also at 2, we'll have Richlands at Graham. Saturday, October 13th at 11:30 a.m., Grundy at Graham, and then finally October 20th and Saturday at 1, Bluefield at Woodrow Wilson and Beckley.
Sizemore with a full complement of running backs behind him this time. Tight end to the left side. Turns, hands it off. Good yardage. Running up there is number 39, Joe Bowling. And we may see yet another official's timeout for a measurement. Close to that first down marker. Number 79 there is John Schmara in on the tackle. So after the officials measured that one, Princeton came up a couple of inches short. 4th and inches, will look for the quarterback sneak. There it is as Sizemore bowls forward, and I believe he's got the first down. So Princeton should pick up that first down with 8.5 minutes to play. The clock holds. 3rd quarter. Princeton's best defense tonight could be the clock, as we've mentioned all evening long. If they control the ball and keep it from Bluefield, they've got a pretty decent shot of coming out on top. Sizemore steps back to pass. He's at the 30, lofted out to Pennington, who's open for a fraction of a second, but just a bit too far. Pennington led with that pass. Brian Janudalo right there along with Jay Lynch. So we'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Princeton. Jeff Sizemore bringing the Princeton Tigers up to the line of scrimmage. He's looking at a 2nd down and 10. Princeton, by the way, just used a timeout. They have 2 remaining in this second half. 5 formation, Sizemore to pass. Sizemore on the run and close to being picked off. Number 23, Jay Lynch, right on the scene, and it was picked off. So, little referees conference, and it was a catch by Jay Lynch. Princeton turns it over, and Bluefield gets the football back. They'll have it for the first time in this 3rd quarter. So, Princeton trying to mix the run and the pass, gave it up that time to Bluefield. Keith Rubel leads them out, gives to Small. Small's going nowhere. Could have lost a couple on that play. Shooting through the gap there, number 52 for the Tigers.
Chris Healy, or Hardy rather. Hardy came right through there, Mike. Just made a beautiful play. That's one of the few times you've seen Smalls get wrapped up so quickly. That's the way you handle him, because once he gets out in the open field, I don't think there are too many people in the stadium who can catch him.
Certainly not Chris Hardy in a 40-yard dash. I'll tell you, Hardy at his best playing inside, and he got Smalls that time. 2nd and about 14 for the Bluefield Beavers is Kenny Pruitt, the senior center, number 66, leads them up. Bluefield in their unbalanced line to the right side, strong right, of course. The fake to Martin Rubel looking to throw it. He's got Small Steve, tries to come underneath a little bit. To number 43, Steve Brown, just pass not on the mark. Bluefield in one of those situations, Ralph, that Princeton was in before. 3rd and very long.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him put it up here. Both teams have have shown that they'll put the ball up when they're deep in their own territory right there for Bluefield. Then late in the first half, Sizemore with that critical third down pass to Pennington, which resulted in a first down.
If you're just joining us, we're in the third quarter of our Channel 6 High School game of the week. 7:15 to play. Bluefield Beavers clinging to a 21-14 lead on the Princeton Tigers. Martin motions. Rubel fakes to Martin, gives it to Smalls, coming back. A lot of running room, and he is just tripped up. Could be about a yard short of a first. He was tripped up. Nice play in there defensively for Princeton. Coming up, Ralph, I believe, was number 12, Tim Boggess.
Beautiful play there by Boggess. Smalls tried to jump, and Boggess went down, just tripped him up at the ankles, and made what would have probably been a touchdown-saving tackle because there weren't too many people out there past Boggess to stop the very quick Hugh Smalls.
So Janudalo back to about his own goal line, hit it maybe at the 5-yard line. Richie Wolf and Tim Boggess both back to the Princeton Tigers. Wobbly kick, and Princeton will let it hit, and it'll take a bit of a Bluefield bounce. It will go out of bounds inside Tiger territory, be about, let's call it the 49-yard line. Got the benefit of a nice bounce on that play. No Tiger return. Sizemore has an I formation behind him. He turns and hands the ball off, and the Tigers break across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Robbie Martin, I believe, on that carry.
Give credit to the front line there of Princeton. Coppola was coming on somewhat of a blitz. He was knocked out of the play, and that gave Martin some room for that pickup of about 5 or 6 yards.
45, Ted Coppola, 35, Cortez Martin. Very active on that Beaver defense. They'll be all over the place. Sizemore now has a strong formation to the right side. He gives it to the first man through off tackle, number 39, Joe Bowling. Bowling having a nice game for himself, Ralph. He's getting help from the offensive line, as you just mentioned.
Probably his best run of the ballgame was in the first quarter. You might remember the quick pitch out to the right where he got it down deep into Bluefield territory. But we've talked a lot about Bluefield's running backs, but Princeton's running backs have had a great ball game. And, of course, the front line for anytime you've got a good running back, you know you've got a good front line as well.
Clock is moving at 5:47, third quarter. Princeton driving. Give up the middle is a good one for Sean Thomason, 198-pound senior, number 42, fullback, broke it up. Nice pickup on first down. 3 backs. Sizemore will keep, and he will get a first down. And, Ralph, that has been maybe Princeton's most successful play all night long, a simple quarterback sneak.
That was a pickup of about 6 yards, and it just appears, and I'm sure the combination of the blocking, but it also might be the Bluefield alignment where there's an opening right ahead, not a nose tackle. And that's made a lot of difference for Princeton. That was a big first down. They're deep now into Bluefield territory.
As we look down on the Bluefield bench, we see number 45, Teddy Coppola, being assisted to. Coppola not in on that last play, and maybe that's why Sizemore took off. Sizemore, the handoff to Robbie Martin, will try the right side. He'll pick up some, not much, bring up about a 2nd and 8. Don't forget the Bluefield Beavers will make their second Channel 6 High School Game of the Week appearance next Saturday afternoon. They will visit the Blue Tornado down in Richland. We will have that on a tape-delayed telecast next Saturday, the 29th at 2 p.m. Sizemore again gets what he's doing. The old quarterback sneak. Try it again. Picked up a little more, but not a first down this time. He's up to, about the 18-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Call it a long 4, closer to 5.
Of course, Mike, it's a little bit early to be talking about it, but we talked about it last week. Tazewell Graham is, if a touchdown opportunity would present itself here for Princeton, do they go for the 1 or do they go for the 2? There's a lot of time left in this game, but should they score, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe go for 2.
We certainly know what Coach Clint Carlock would do. I can guarantee that. Teddy Coppola checks back in along with Charles Wallace. Nothing wrong with Coppola, fortunately. And Sizemore, guess what? He hits Pennington once again. Another big first down. And the Tigers are roaring. They are inside the Bluefield 10. Sizemore to Pennington. That's been the combo most of the night through the air for the Princeton Tigers.
We have a flag on the play after the fact.
Well, we've had a few offsetting penalties, and Bluefield has used another timeout. They have 1 remaining, and the bottom line is Princeton first and goal on the 12. And number 39 up the gut is Joe Bowling, and after the long wait, it certainly was worth it for Princeton. Bowling up the middle, a touchdown, and the Tigers have closed the Bluefield lead to 1 with the extra point upcoming. Bluefield 21, Princeton 20, thanks to Joe Bowling.
What an amazing series of events. We had 5 minutes of dead time there as offsetting penalties were called. A lot of discussion among the referees and the officials, but a touchdown for Bowling. Good run.
See what Sabo can do. Snap, spot, kick, and block. And the Bluefield Beavers will keep their 1-point lead. Joe Sabo set to put it back into play. Sabo's last extra point attempt was batted away. The Bluefield keeps a 21-20 lead, but the underdog Tigers are certainly hanging right in this football game. Sabo approaches and touches. It's a very short kick, and Bluefield to get good position. Coppola across the 35 and belted hard at about the 39-yard line. Short kick taken by Coppola. Beavers in good position, Ralph.
It'll be interesting to see what the coaches say after the last conversation with the officials. It's been a very strange game, a lot of controversy. We hope to find out a little bit more about it toward the end of the game, but both teams were standing on the field for at least 5 minutes without any action taking place as everything was getting squared away.
Number 30, Tim Barnes, a senior for Bluefield, shaking up on that play. He's being looked at on the sideline. In the meantime, Rubel calls him out. Turns, gives to Coppola, good run, and gets some extra effort from Coppola. He's across the 45-yard line, up close to the midfield. He's at about the 47.
2:45 to go in the third quarter. Bluefield hanging on to that 1-point lead. It's been a long game with all the controversy that we have had. Officials talking with the coaches, trying to get everything squared away. On that just before that last touchdown with Bowling, the players were on the field for a full 5 minutes, I'd say, Mike, with no action while they were getting this sorted out.
Janudalo checks in, Hugh Smalls checks out. Give is to Martin off the left side. Coppola, Janudalo in front of him. Gets across the 50. He's gang tackled, but it's good enough for a Bluefield first down. First and 10 Beavers on the Princeton 49. Number 67, Bert Charles, made that last tackle for the Tigers. First and 10 Beaver on the 49. Kenny Pruitt, number 66, the center. The 2 tackles to the right side in the unbalanced line. Rule misdirection. Rule hands to Hugh Small. Mr. Excitement, jitterbugging here and there, tripped up but did pick up a couple of yards.
Mike Lambert in on that tackle. Good pursuit by Princeton. If you're a defensive coach, when you see Hugh Smalls with the football, I imagine your heart immediately goes into your mouth. He's just so exciting to watch. 5'3", 135, and cuts as quick and can really run in the open field about as quick as anyone you'll see.
And Mr. Smalls checks out of the lineup as Janudalo checks back in for John Shamara's Bluefield Beavers. Second and 7 for Bluefield. Come out in an I formation in the backfield. Rubel reverse pivots, gives to Coppola off the right side. A lot of running room, and he's gang tackled and ridden down by a couple of Tigers. But that's good enough for a first down with some to spare as Bluefield moves the ball to the Princeton 33. Clock continues to roll as the final ticks in the third quarter. A minute 15 to play. Bluefield leading Princeton 21-20. Kevin Mitchell, John Shamara, Steve Banco, the guys doing the job on the right side of the Bluefield line right now. Rubel looked to pass and kept it. Went around left end, and he's down even closer to the Princeton goal line, down to 25. Good pickup on first down, Ralph.
It looks to me like Bluefield was really inspired by that blocked extra point. They came out strong after the kickoff, got good field position on the short kick, and they've moved the ball up the field quickly with 43 seconds now to go in the third quarter of play.
The pigskin for Bluefield just inches shy of the 25-yard line. Full house backfield. Rubel gives to Martin on the third running back. He's around the right side. He's 10, 5, touchdown, Bluefield. Cortez Martin does what he does best on the power move. And Bluefield answers Princeton's touchdown right back as the clock holds at 29 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Bluefield up by 7 now, 27-20. Cortez Martin on his own.
Martin's a big guy, but you can see him really move down that right side. Was able to just get by that last defender at about the 10-yard line and get it in, and now it's up to a 7-point lead. We'll see if they go, I would imagine, just for 1.
Pruitt to snap it, Janudalo to hold it. Snap, spot, kick, good. Out into the parking lot it goes, and Bluefield comes back upfield with an football for Princeton. And it will go to Wolf at the 5. 10, 15, 20, and we'll watch it from there. Up across the 30. Timmy Wolf returns it to give the Tigers decent field position. Ralph Parker Hall splits to the near side of it, but Sizemore decides to run it off left tackle, and going nowhere with the football for Princeton, I believe, was Sean Thomason. We'll check the number. There was Thomason. As we said, he went pretty much nowhere, and that's it. That's the end of quarter number 3, our Channel 6 high school football game of the week. We move to the fourth quarter now with the Bluefield Beavers leading the Princeton Tigers 28-20. We'll be right back. First and 10, Princeton on their own 31-yard line. We are just starting quarter number 4. The Tigers trying to make up 8 points. Bluefield 28-20. Sizemore to the air. Across the middle, it is tipped into the hands and incomplete. Richard Cox had the football momentarily at about the 40-yard line. Jay Lynch, number 23, providing the Bluefield pressure. That'll bring up a third down and 10 for Princeton. Third down, 10 yards to go for Princeton, 11:45 to play, quarter number 4. Sizemore turns, comes back the other way on an inside handoff to Craig Bailey. Bailey, number 7, came from the right side and went off the left side. Nowhere near the first down. Bring up 4th and 7. And the Tigers will be forced to punt the football away to Bluefield, trailing by 8 points. Janudalo and Lynch, the 2 deep backs for Bluefield. Carl Pennington steps up and hits it at about the 26-yard line. It's taken by Janudalo as he'll try a left return. Coppola steals one way, Janudalo coming back the other, following his blockers beautifully. And Brian Janudalo brings the ball back to the 45-yard line. Nice return.
Indeed it was. He followed his blockers, took his time, waited to see what was happening, came to the left, cut back to the middle, got it up over midfield. Bluefield's got good field position with 11:05 to go in what's been a very long and exciting football game.
Rubel sends Martin to the left side in the slot. Turns, gives to Coppola. Coppola battling forward, might have picked up 1 yard on his forward progress. Not much room that side.
So we might take time here, Mike, to once again thank Herb Sims for our press box accommodations and thank both schools as well. They've been most cooperative in setting up this game of the week series. Of course, John Shamar at Bluefield, his assistants Tom Farrell, Jeff Wells, and Fred Simon, and of course Joe Tribukka, Ted Gillespie, and Terry Hughes over at Princeton. So we really appreciate the help, and boy, the field's in super shape. They've done a great job on it.
Threw it over the football. Rubel looks over the defense. Takes the snap, turns, and gives it to Smalls on the right side. Hit and bouncing off number 66. Hitting and bouncing around like a pinball machine is Hugh Smalls. Makes a nice run on his own second and third, and maybe fourth effort. He's across the Princeton 40, down to about the 37-yard line. Set up a third and a long 2.
I'm sure what Coach John Schmart would like to see right now, Mike, is a good ball control drive. Clock counting down to 9:38. I'm sure he'd like to see about a 7-yard drive or a 7-minute drive rather for a touchdown.
Hugh Smalls checks out of the lineup, gets a hand from the crowd, a pat on the helmet from Coach John Schmara. Brian Janudalo checks back in. Clock moving. 3 backs with Rubel. Decides to give it to Martin. Fumble on the play. Bluefield looks to have the best shot at recovering, and I believe they did. Falling on the football for the Bluefield Beavers, number 61, right guard Steve Benko, a lifesaver as far as John Smart is concerned right there.
That handoff was to Cortez Martin, but it looked like by the time Martin got over there, he was a little bit ahead of Rubel, and that's what caused the fumble, but heads up play by the lineman for Bluefield.
Break for Princeton. They'd like to recover to get better position, but they force Bluefield to punt. It's Janudalo. Hits it deep to Wolf. Wolf across the 15, and that's it. And they'll mark it back halfway distance to the goal, I'm sure, as there are flags all over the place. So if Princeton is to come back with a long drive, this time they're going to have to go a long way. They will start out 1st and 10 on their 6. Usually on a kick return of any kind, when there's flags thrown in the area of the runner, you can pretty much figure it was clipping. That's exactly what it was. An illegal hit from behind will set Princeton back. Clock is moving. 8 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Bluefield beating Princeton by a score of 28-20. Sizemore checks things out. I formation, fakes one way, going to throw it out to Carl Pennington, and he's got him. Pennington up to the 15-yard line, leave him about 2nd and 1.
Credit there to the Princeton line. The blitz was coming. They picked it up quickly, and Pennington was able to get open on the left side. So good job by that offensive line for the Tigers.
When the blitz is on the move and it's picked up, someone will be open. That time it was Pennington, and Sizemore hit him. 2nd and about 1 from the 15-yard line as the Tigers look to bang it in there and then go for 2 to tie. 28-20 Bluefield, 8 minutes to play in quarter number 4. Again, a reminder, Bluefield will be on our high school game of the week next Saturday afternoon when they'll be down at Richlands as our TV6 high school games of the week series continues. Sizemore on the keep as he has all night. Across the 20, he's got the first down. Cortez Martin checks out of the Bluefield defense. Just a breather, most likely, although he is flexing his left leg. Sizemore turns and hands the ball off to the second man through, Robbie Martin, and Martin was drilled as he reached the 21, maybe 22-yard line. Ralph set up a 2nd and long. Will Princeton, put it up, buddy. I'm going to put you on the limb.
I will say at this juncture they will put the football up in the air, and I would look again for Pennington, although there have been passes toward Cox and Parker Hall. You got to figure Pennington is the money man in the clutch, and he's the guy I would be looking for here.
Bluefield true to form, playing a close ball game all the way through. You can look at their first 3 scores, and you'll know why we're saying they're true to form tonight. Sizemore fools us both and hands the ball to number 42, Sean Thomas. And Thomason, a busy man all night, picked up good yardage on the play. It'll leave Princeton a 3rd and 2 at right about the Bluefield 29, or the Princeton 29-yard line. Sizemore brings out his Princeton Tigers, the always rough and always ready Teddy Coppola being checked on the sideline, shaken up on the last play, alongside Cortez Martin. So maybe it was more than just a breather for Cortez Martin. Sizemore will sneak it once again. Will his luck hold? Probably not. Looks to be close to a first down, but I don't believe he made it on that sneak. So for one time, Sizemore on the sneak came up short. Brings up a very big 4th and inches, and with 6:06 to play in this ball game, the Tigers have no choice. Sizemore turns, gives to number 42, Sean Thomason off the right side, and he's got plenty. So the Tigers will keep the football. 5:58 to play, fourth quarter. Bluefield 28, Princeton 20. They move the chains.
Gutsy call by Coach Joe Tribuca. You can see on the one hand, only 6 minutes left. You want to get down there and get the touchdown. On the other hand, that is not a lot of time, but it could be sufficient time. Had they not made it, Bluefield would have only been 30 yards from pay dirt. It was a gutsy call, and it paid off. Let's see what Princeton can do this time.
Tommy Bailey checks in for John Schmara on the defense. Bluefield might have been looking for another quarterback sneak. Sizemore turns and gives to Thomason. He's got lots of room. Sean Thomason up to midfield at the 50. And we've got a heck of a ball game going as the Tigers keep the football. Officially marked on the 49. More than enough for a first down. Clock stopped momentarily at 5:38.
As you've heard so many times, that hole was so big I could have run through it. It was an excellent blocking job by the Tigers. Both offensive lines doing a great job tonight.
They certainly are. That last I referring to Ralph Oakland. Don't know if I could have gone through it anymore. Sizemore turns. Thomason once again, and Thomason having himself a heck of a game and a heck of a drive here in the fourth quarter. He picked up 10 again, I believe. Ball up to the 40-yard line, and I believe it's another first down. Back-to-back first downs for the Princeton Tigers as they are rolling. 5:22 to play. Don't go away. 200-pound senior Sean Thomason at fullback tonight picked up his second first down in a row, pulling up to the 39-yard line. It was a first. Sizemore talking to Thomason once again. Thomason has 39, Joe Bowling behind him. Sizemore fakes the handoff, throws it over to Carl Pennington, I believe. Flags all over the place. Brian Janudalo could have been too close that time.
It was a good call, but an unfortunate play for Bluefield. Pennington was tripped up. It was accidental, but it should have been a penalty. It was a good call and a big break for Princeton.
Big break for Princeton. Remember, in high school football, pass interference is a 15-yard mark-off from the line of scrimmage. So, in other words, if Pennington was 30 yards downfield, it might have been a break for Bluefield if he was wide open, because the extra yardage on the penalty would not have been been tacked on to where the infraction was. So 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, moves it up and, of course, gives Princeton another first down. Their third first down in 3 plays. Biting time on the Bluefield Beavers side of the stadium. 5:04 to play, 28-20. The Beavers hanging on at the moment. Sizemore sets them down, gives to Thomason, and once again there is tons of room up there. Thomason pulls across the 15-yard line, down close to the 10 from this angle, and he was knocked down by Janudalo, I believe. So Thomason playing the game of his life.
Mike, one thing we might note here, Bluefield undefeated this year, 3-0, Princeton 2-1. All of Bluefield's victories have been close, though. They beat Graham 21-20. They beat Greenbrier East 40-20, but it was tied in the fourth quarter, and they beat Pulaski 9-6.
Bluefield playing it like they have all year. Don't want anybody to leave the stadium early. Thomason again this time. Stacked up in there as I believe he did reach the 10 this time. It'll set up about a 2nd and 6. 4:38 to play. Clock moving. 28-20. Bluefield hanging on with an 8-point lead over Princeton on our TV6 high school game of the week. Don't go away wherever you are. This one winding down to a good finish. Second and a long 6 for the Princeton Tigers. Sizemore calls out the signals, got 3 guys behind him, turns and gives it to Joe Bowling. Bowling leaps across the 15, picks up not too much, but he wasn't set back either, so they'll move the down marker up a bit. We'll bring up a situation of about 3rd and, let's call it 6 again. We'll call it a long 6 before. Ralph will call it a short 6 this time.
I'll tell you, real estate's getting very expensive down there. Princeton's had their success with the run, but when you get down this tight, you might have to loosen it up with a pass.
Charles Wallace checks out for Bluefield. John Chamara, 79. Back in. Sizemore looks to pass. Being mobbed a little bit, throws it towards the end zone of Parker Hall, and he bounced it in front of him. The blitz came on that time, Ralph, and unlike the last time, Princeton did not pick it up.
Parker Hall was open there for a moment, but Sizemore just didn't have the time really to get away a good pass. Had to hurry his throw, and it came in short of Hall, so it brings up a big 4th down with just about 3.5 minutes to play. And this could be Princeton's last attempt at it.
This by far the toughest call all night for Princeton coach Joe Trabucco. He needs 6 for a first. He needs about 10 for a touchdown to move within 2 points. 28-20, Bluefield, crowd on its feet. Sizemore back. Throws it into the end zone. It is batted away, and Bluefield will take over. Number 23, Jay Lynch, with some fine coverage. And now the Princeton Tigers, Ralph, their back is against the wall.
Yes, indeed, that was the man you'd expect him to go toward. Pennington. Janudalo had him man-to-man, and Jay Lynch came over. Good job to get in front of Pennington, knock it away. So Bluefield will, in fact, take it over. An excellent series there by Princeton. They just weren't able to get it into the end zone. And now Bluefield, I'm sure, will try to pick up a first down or 2 and run out the clock.
Bluefield might have been in a prevent defense that last few series. People will say Princeton gained yards, but they did not get the 6 points. And that's all Bluefield was concerned about. First and 10, Beavers on the 10. Rubel calls them out, strong to the right side, unbalanced, gives to Smalls, nowhere to go. Smalls, Ralph runs into a stone wall, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good defense that time.
Unofficially, Mike, we have Princeton with no timeouts left. There's a little bit of confusion when we had a 5-minute delay as they were trying to figure things out. Princeton at most would have 1 timeout left, but I'm pretty sure they have no timeouts left as the clock continues to run, now down to 3:03.
There will be less than 3 minutes when this ball is snapped. Remember, no 2-minute warnings or anything in high school, so if Princeton does have a timeout, they better think about using it. Rubel fumbles the snap, turns around and shoves it off to Coppolo, and Bluefield got a break, Ralph. They still have the football. Not the neatest of plays that time.
Rubel was very fortunate to get that football back. As we look at it, then we see that he pitched it to Coppolo, which was surprising. A very dangerous play, but he threw right to Coppolo, and he did pick up quite a bit of yardage there. So good, quick thinking by Rubel, although dangerous.
3rd and 5 for Bluefield. Big call. Rubel turns, fakes to Martin, back to Smalls, and he will not get the first down. Princeton will get the football back once again as the clock winds down to 2 minutes.
I would imagine here that Bluefield might even take a delay of game to let the clock run down just as far as is possible. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty heavy rush here by Princeton as Wolf goes back deep to accept the punt.
Brian Giannullo hit about 40 a game on the punt last week. Tonight, a lot less. Fair catch called for by Richie Wolf, number 12 for the Tigers. And Princeton, with the clock stopped at 1:39 to play, will take the ball over on the Bluefield 39-yard line. Beavers up 28-20. Ball game in its final minutes. Thomason, once again, this guy's liable to break one for 6. He's had a lot of room all night long. Cortez Martin on the stop, but Thomason again picks up yardage up to the 31. Pickup of 8, we'll call it 2nd and 2. Sizemore, high formation behind him. He'll try Thomason once again, both hands around the football. I believe he's got enough for the first down.
That'll also stop the clock for a few minutes, Mike, while they move the chains. The clock stopped exactly with 1 minute remaining, and pretty soon, maybe now, Princeton's going to have to put that ball up in the air.
Steve Benko, number 61, 5'9", 200-pound junior, in on that play. Princeton apparently out of timeouts. We mentioned 56, 55 seconds, clock moving. Sizemore calls him out, steps back. He's being blitzed from the backside by number 50, but he gets it off. Looking for Pennington, but just did overshot him. Jimmy Blizzard coming from the backside made Sizemore throw that ball a little earlier than he wanted to as Pennington was trying to outrace Giannullo to the end zone. The incomplete pass did benefit the Tigers in the fact that the clock stopped at 47 seconds to play. 28-20. Bluefield, 2nd and 10. Princeton, Sizemore, up top. Blizzard coming again. Unloads it to number 82, Parker Hall. And it is incomplete as the Bluefield crowd near to us with a sigh of relief. Close play. Parker Hall did trap it, the official right there. Princeton did have one timeout remaining after all, and they just used it to talk things over. Sizemore and Trabuco, 3rd and 10. Fake one way. Sizemore in trouble. Cortez Martin applies the pressure. Sizemore is down, and he'll bring up a 4th and probably 10 once again. As we come back to action, you can see the football pushed way back to the Bluefield Beaver 44-yard line as Princeton was hit with a 15-yard penalty. To say the Tigers are in trouble right now is an understatement. 4th and miles. Sizemore back. One thing to do is throw it up. See what happens. It's complete. Carl Pennington made a super catch over double coverage. And he is down to the 15-yard line. Bodies all over the place. And time has run out. Carl Pennington made a super catch to end this football game. The only problem was he did not make the end zone as the time ran out. So Bluefield, in a prevent defense, apparently gave up the pass to Pennington. Ralph Pennington made a super catch over 2 players, and they would have picked up the first down, but there just wasn't enough time to get it in the end zone.
He was doing his very best to get out of bounds, Mike, and he was stopped by the Bluefield defense, made a great catch, struggled to get out of bounds, wasn't able to do it, but an exciting end to a very exciting ball game.
Very exciting ball game. 1 touchdown each in the second half. The Tigers had that 14-point lead, and they might be going home, Ralph, but they can keep their heads up high. They played a heck of a ball game as they fall to 2-2. Bluefield 4-0. We will be back with more on the high school game of the week here on TV6 right after this. Back to Mitchell Stadium, where the Bluefield Beavers have come away with a 28-20 win over the Princeton Tigers tonight. And Ralph, I think Bluefield got a better game than they anticipated.
Well, I think they sure did. Princeton got started early with that 14-0 lead. Bluefield came storming back in the second quarter with 3 touchdowns. It was 21-14 at half. Then Princeton came back after a couple of controversial calls, got on the board, but then was Cortez Martin's 25-yard run, plus the 1-point conversion finally made it 28-20. So it's an excellent football game, as there were a couple of calls that both coaches wondered about, but it didn't really, I think, take anything away from the game because it was such a well-played football game by both teams, and we couldn't ask for more excitement.
Bluefield goes to 4-0, of course. They beat Graham the first week of the season. They beat Greenbrier East. They beat Pulaski County last week and Princeton here tonight, and all of them cliffhangers. So Bluefield is growing up fast.
Yes, indeed they are, and they've got a tough one next week. Of course, we'll have it for the fans as they travel down to Richland. So we've got that ball game plus 3 more coming up on the Game of the Week series.
Tigers fall to 2-2. So again, our final here tonight, Bluefield beats Princeton 28-20. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as we did. We can tell you again that our Channel 6 High School Game of the Week will pick up again next Saturday when these same Bluefield Beavers will travel down to the Blue Tornado of Richlands. For Ralph Oakley, I'm Mike Fuller. Once again, the final score, Bluefield beats Princeton 28-20. We'll see you next week, everybody.